One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. Our design is rhyme to explain in due time. All
All
I
I
know.
know.
Time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so
So unreal.
unreal. Took the line below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying so hard you didn't even know it wasted it all. Just
Watch
watch you
you
go.
go.
Kept everything inside, even though I tried. It all fell apart. What eventually will, or what,
What it
blah,
meant to
blah,
be
be
will
memory of
eventually
the
be a
time.
memory of a time I tried
Tried
so
so
hard,
hard.
got so far. How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Shaheener coming at you with another episode of the Pokemon Babblers podcast. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host Bano.
Oh, hello. How you doing?
And so we were going to be talking about Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but we realized it'd be more important for us to talk about X and Y, Generation 6. Because there's a lot of stuff that was introduced in Generation 6 that would be uh, basically passing over to ORAS. So we're going to talk about X and Y this time. Next time will be ORAS. But Bono, do you want to kick it off for us?
For sure. I really vividly remember this because it was like they had the announcement at like 6 a.m. and I had just moved into my first apartment. And yeah, it was something because I was just like up at 6 a.m. crack of dawn watching TV and waiting for this, and yeah, it kind of blew me away. It was revealed on January 8th, 2013, and was set to release October 12th of the same year. And the trailer had a lot for a Pokemon trailer because it introduced the concepts of the new Pokemon, the starters, um, as well as what do you call it, the fairy type and Mega Evolutions all in one trailer.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of really like blew me away.
Right. Also, this was a very first generation where they had all the games released on the exact same day. Usually, there was like the Japan would get the games first, and then everybody else would get it months later. So this is the first time that they released all of them at once, which I thought was really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
No longer do we just, download the Japanese ROM and
Mm-hmm.
then, try to play it and then wait for
Yeah.
the English translation a year later.
Right. And also, you got your language option too when you start the game too. You could choose what
Right.
language you want to play in, which I thought was also really cool too.
Which is something that's continued to this day in every Pokemon game so far.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, this wasn't a Pokemon Day announcement, was it? It was just like kind of its
No.
own thing.
Yeah, it was just like kind of at a weird date because when was Black and White 2 released?
That
That
was released
was
in 2012. That
2012. Okay, so
yeah.
it is probably following that like yearly schedule of Pokemon games where they're like we
Mhm.
have to get a game out, which, where depending on where you land on it, it's kind of the series has kind of suffered, but I feel like we kind of bounced back in the current day at least.
Yeah, I feel like that it's gotten a bit better. We had a little bit of a slump there. I feel like yeah, like the early mid 2010s weren't really the best for like I don't know, overall just quality, I guess. It seems like it's kind of getting better there again.
Right.
But
Yeah,
y-
so they introduced the new regions, the Kalos region based on France, home wee
mhm.
wee. And so a lot of people were excited. I know people were picking apart the map, like what does this look like? What like, how big is the if we got what's it, Castelia City in Gen 5, like how big is, Paris going to be in Kalos
Yeah, right.
and all kinds of stuff like that. It happens every generation, but like I vividly remember people picking apart the Gen 6 map with like circles and like what is this, what's that,
Mhm. What does
and
it
stuff like
mean?
that. What does it mean? It's also the first entirely 3D Pokemon
Yeah,
game.
where it's
At
3D
least,
with a total asterisk on that one. Where
right?
yeah.
They learned from Black and White for sure. It's definitely an upgrade.
Mhm.
It's definitely an upgrade in that sense. It's also the first generation where you can move, like because of the circle pad, you can move pretty much like in 8 different directions at once.
Yeah, exactly. You're no longer stuck to the grid. Now
All
you
right.
have you have all those directions and they have some improvements on the movement in that aspect too that we could talk about a little bit later, at least in the way that you could traverse the land.
You could still use the D-pad, but like we
Mhm.
said in the Sun and Moon episode, they removed that functionality going forward.
Yeah.
So enjoy it while it lasts in the
Yeah.
Gen 6.
Yeah, this was like the transitionary period, it seems like, from Yeah, from the 4 directional movement to the 8 directional, and then just full on just loose movement.
right?
Yep.
Um, and then they had like the huge drop, which was like the fairy types, the first new type since what, Gen 2?
Yeah, Gen 2. Yeah, this is the first type. Now it made it 18 types overall instead of 17. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they added fairy type. So, not only were there Pokemon that were introduced with the fairy type, but then they also revised some Pokemon previously with to add the fairy type to it, like Azumarill,
Right.
Gardevoir, Togepi,
Clefable.
Clefable. Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon that were given the fairy type, but then there's also a lot of Pokemon that were introduced with it, whether
Mm-hmm.
they're just like pure fairy or they were a hybrid of fairy type.
Right.
So,
It definitely
yeah.
lifted a lot of Pokemon out of obscurity, like
Mhm.
Clefable and Azumarill.
Yeah, for sure. Actually never used Azumarill until X and Y.
Mm-hmm.
I tried doing a Nuzlocke run pretty recently, and or actually no, this was before that. I was doing just a playthrough of Y in the past year or so, and I used an Azumarill on the team, and that thing was my freaking like that was my tank right there. I don't know if it was
Mm-hmm.
because it had that fairy type on there, but it was just so versatile. I feel like that I just like it was kind of like my secret weapon, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and X and Y have a at least we have a soft spot for the meme that is Lazard
Yeah.
and Lepidge.
Exactly. So basically, for context, around the time, like a little bit after X and Y's release, I thought, hey, maybe I could do my very first Nuzlocke run. And so I tried it on X and Y. And since it was based in France, I just named everything like Charmander would be like Lézard, or the new Pokemon Scatterbug was Leverm, things like that. Or Pidgey was
Liver,
Lepidge. So everything was
Lepidge.
lay this, lay that. And so that just became like a running meme between Bono and I. Unfortunately, unbeknownst to me, I accidentally traded off Lepidge in a Wonder Trade on Pokemon Home, which I still beat myself up for to this day. I
Lepidge.
I hope Lepidge is doing well. If there's an off chance that anybody possibly got a Wonder Trade with a Lepidge on there, please send it back. I
OT
will.
Alex.
Yeah, please, please. So, yeah, I tried another Nuzlocke again on an X and Y, and I failed like right after the second gym. So, that one hurt. That one really
Right.
hurt.
What does
Yeah,
it say? Yeah, we'll talk about the gyms later because that's a
yeah,
huge thing I have to talk about.
yeah.
But the starter Pokemon for this generation were Fennekin,
Chespin.
Chespin, and Froakie.
Yes.
Now, obviously, opinions have been formed since then, but at initial release, what was your favorite Kalos starter?
I don't think I was too jazzed about any of them, to be honest, but I think if I had to pick one, it would have been Chespin. I think the design was just so unique that I couldn't pinpoint it to a certain animal, so I just ended
Mm-hmm.
up liking Chespin by default.
Mm-hmm.
Fennekin just reminded me of the Taco Bell Chihuahua, and and Froakie was
Yo no
just
quiero Taco Bell.
yeah, and Froakie was just like a frog. It was just
Le
Lecroak.
Frog,
It was just Lecroak.
Le Croak.
So yeah, I didn't think
Uh,
too much about it.
Initially, I was jazzed about him. I like Chespin the most. I think Chespin was the only one of them that I actually used into a Chestnut.
Yeah, yeah. Same.
I don't think I ever used Froakie or
Really?
Fennekin.
You never
I don't
used
think I ever.
Greninja?
No.
Wow. Yeah, Greninja
Yeah.
was great. Like, because believe I got both versions,
Hmm.
and on my main file, which was X, I used Chespin, and then on the other one, I used Froakie. And Froakie was awesome. Like, I really liked using it, but for me, Chestnut was just like
Grass
Chestnut's
fighting.
is yeah, it was kind of interesting typing. I mean, granted, Breloom was already that. Its design
Hmm.
was so weird. I feel like
Hmm.
it's just like the turtle shell, like a beast like face and stupidly long arms, like comically long arms.
Hmm.
It looks very awkward. I mean, first stages, I think that Chespin won that for me personally, but then after that, Greninja I think was the coolest
We
out of
don't
the
talk
final
about
ones.
Quilladin. We don't talk about
Yeah,
Quilladin.
Quilladin was so awkward.
We don't talk about Quilladin. All right. We don't talk about
Oh
mid-stage
god.
evolutions.
Yeah, and this was really the definition of mid
Right.
stage evolutions. No, I Braixen, what was it, Frogadier, and
Frogadier.
none of them piqued my interest at all. They were
Hmm.
so just boring and dumb.
Yeah, in terms of final evolution, I'd have to say Greninja wins like the
Yeah.
design contest.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean for first stages it was Chespin for me. I don't like any of the middle stages, and then for the last one's Greninja.
Right. I have to agree. And it seems like that a lot of the fans seem to love Greninja as well. They really like Greninja's
Right?
design.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's in Smash.
yeah, it was its own character in Smash Bros.
So starters were starters, but then you start the game, you get put into your town, which is like very microscopic. I think there's like 3 houses.
Hmm.
And then you take your first steps onto Route 1, which is literally just like a tech demo to show you like that they can zoom in on the camera because there's no
Yeah.
Pokemon there,
Right.
which was
Ex-
pretty weird. I mean, it was cool, but it's like it's very dumb to say Route 1. They could have just called it like Pass or something like that.
exactly. Or just have it as like the just like the outskirts or something like that. But also, as
Right.
soon as you step out of your house, you have a pet Rhyhorn that you could ride for
Or
just
your
like a
mom's
second.
Rhyhorn.
Yeah, it's your mom's Rhyhorn. Yeah, because again, you don't have a dad in this game, so
Right.
that was really an innovation of Generation 3 that they never brought back in other ones.
Hmm.
So I don't know, maybe needed to work on the dad mechanic of the games. Yeah, the Rhyhorn you could ride on it for a second. You kind of ride it around the front yard, and then it goes back. So it's kind of like a foreshadowing of what you could do later on, I guess.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty
But
neat little
yeah,
thing that you could do out. But yeah, it
right.
is expanded upon later.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go to the next town because you get like a package or something that talks about like going to meet your friends. And then in this game you meet your friends who later turn out to be 4 different rivals.
Yep.
Was it Tierno,
Trevor.
uh, Trevor? That's why I always
Mm-hmm.
keep forgetting his name. Trevor,
Yeah.
Shauna, and then either Serena or what's the other guy's? Caleb.
Yeah, Caleb. Yeah, correct.
Caleb, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much like Trevor isn't really a threat. He kind of reminded me of Izzy from Digimon. He's just more like the nerd guy, just looking at
Well,
the numbers and the
I
stats and
wouldn't say
stuff.
that because Izzy's a
Uh,
Chad and
Izzy is a
Trevor's
Chad. I never said he wasn't a Chad. He's a total
Izzy's a
Chad, but
well.
he's not your direct threat.
You're comparing him to a beta like Trevor. Okay, I take that as an insult that you would dare insult
I'm
Sigma Izzy with
I,
beta Trevor.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It is Sigma Izzy and Ligma Trevor.
Sigma
So
Izzy. All right.
yeah, so but really the one that you battle the most ends up being the direct rival, which is Serena or Caleb. Shauna, I think you
I
battle
think you
her like a
battle
couple
Shauna
times, but
3 times.
yeah, Tierno, you battle like a couple times, but he never was
Two.
like yeah, he wasn't a threat. Trevor, you didn't really battle too much against Trevor because you know you get your ass whooped. So
Right. I
until
hesitate to call them rivals and more call them friends because
yeah.
like I said, I think you battle Shauna a grand total of 3 times. Once in the beginning of the game, once in the middle of the game, and then once before the 8th gym. And then Tierno and Trevor, I think you battle twice.
Yeah, and those were like on that route with the Battle Mason, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. They didn't really delve too much into it. It wasn't like I feel like that Generation 2 was the last one where it was like your rival's an asshole, but then after that there was a couple of them where they're like the rival's a threat.
Hmm.
Maybe no, Generation
And
4 I think.
everybody
Yeah.
remembers Route 111, May or
Yeah.
Brendan.
Mhm. Oh my
Everybody.
god.
Under Cycling Road, everybody remembers that one.
I still have trauma from that. Like I feel like
Um,
that battle was more brutal than the Whitney battle in Gen 2.
as I say, I think you do have a point there because Gen 4 Barry's just quirky. Gen
Yeah.
5, Sharon and Bianca are just friends.
Yeah, but also Black and
Uh,
White 2, who was
Hugh,
yeah, Hugh was kind of a like he was a passionate douchebag.
he was like, feel my rage, but he was
Yeah.
never like mad at you. He was
No,
mad at everybody
he's
else.
mad at Team Plasma.
Yeah, and then you get these losers.
Yeah.
I don't know. They
Friends, not
have
losers.
yeah, friends. They have like unique designs and unique goals. Trevor's is to fill the Pokedex, but like
Yeah.
even if you like blaze through, he always like had like constantly checks his Pokedex against you. But even if you like never like like look at Pokemon, like if you just repel yourself through all routes, you'll still like beat him in terms of like Pokedex things, and it's like ridiculous that they
Mhm.
that it happens that way. Tierno wants to be like a was he a dancer or something like that?
Mhm. Yeah, cuz he always does
Yeah. He does
that
like the
thing.
moves, and it's like, okay, bro, I'm taking on the gym challenge. I'm not trying to be a dancer.
Yeah.
Shauna wants to be what the Pokemon, the video thing.
Yeah, like a movie star
A hollow,
basically.
the Holocaster
Yeah.
star or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like the
Yeah,
stupid video editor.
like the champion, Diantha.
Yeah. So that's weird. If that had been like more of a mechanic, then maybe. If
Mm-hmm.
it's like kind of like saying like anime stuff, like oh I want to be a Pokemon coordinator. It's like okay cool, but that's not in the game.
So, is anybody in this generation did anybody want to be a Pokemon connoisseur?
No, no one want to be a fucking Pokemon connoisseur. Okay,
That's a good thing that
you're such a kid. Okay,
you're such a little kid.
you're such a little kid. All right, moving on. They're all losers,
Yeah.
and the only one that gets like any like development is your mirror other, either Caleb or Serena, and it's like very minimal. You're just told that her parents are like great trainers, and then she
Yeah.
wants to be a great trainer herself, and then you just or her him or herself, and you just constantly beat the crap out of them, and then
Mm-hmm.
once you beat them for the final time, they're just like, oh, I guess there's always gonna be someone better. There's just it's like very like
It's like the most
white bread bland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just the most submissive. Like, oh, I guess I'll never be that good. Yeah, exactly. Just
yeah, yeah. It's just they're not characters. They're just like
yeah,
insert trope here.
yeah. Like they don't have their like. I feel like that. This was just kind of the laying the groundwork for the better character development that they had with like Hop later
Right.
on. So right now, I that's something I feel like I need to go back on because I always feel like I hated Hop, and then I started to realize how shitty all the other rivals that you had were, and how good of an arc that Hops was. Like I took that for granted. I feel like
You
because
also have
yeah,
like this like firework in the night kind of thing with Shauna, and it
mm,
goes nowhere and is never brought up again. It's like
yeah,
super weird.
it
It's like
almost
they
was like
want
borderline romantic.
Yeah, they wanted. I feel like they wanted. I feel like it's the the yearly Pokemon release. This is where it came in because they're like, oh, we want to like we want to do more characters, and we want to expand and give them all stories. But then they're like, hey, guess what? The game's coming out next. In 5 months. We'll figure it out.
Hmm.
And so like I feel like because that's a bit early in the game. I think it's like the fourth town
Right?
where that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah. You go to this mansion, just like checking it out, and
Mhm,
yeah, there's like a furfru that went missing that you got to go help wrangle. And
mhm.
once you finally do, then yeah, you're given like a fireworks show where you're standing side by side with. It was with Serena or was with Shauna?
Anna, and then the
Yeah,
player character, either the boy
yeah,
or the girl.
yeah, exactly. And so it's just like I love spending all this time with you. I love
Yeah,
being
it's
your friend.
it's like really weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like, okay, are they, aren't they kind of thing? It's like the whole Misty Ash thing. It's like, are they, aren't they? But then you realize that Ash is just a baller. It's just like every generation, he just
All right.
has a different girl on his arm. He
It's just
genesis
out
all
of
these women.
place. I don't know. I feel like if we like we rated Pokemon headquarters, I'm pretty sure we could find like the original design document that had like more character development for
Yeah,
all the friends, and
yeah,
then we could shout it to the world like this was planned.
right.
But as it
This is
stands,
all an inside job.
right? As it stands, they're just like they're not forgettable because obviously I remember everyone's name except Beta Trevor,
Yeah.
but they're just not impressionable. They
Hmm.
don't leave like a lasting impression.
I feel like this whole generation was just that. It
Was
just
that?
was not impressionable.
I
But
don't know if
at the moment though, it was like mind blowing when it came out.
right. It added a
Yeah.
lot, and then it
Yeah.
was also with the rivals looking how they do. I think this was like the beginning of like the design, like how I praise the designs in Sword and Shield. I think this was like the beginning of that. Like whoever, I'm pretty sure if we like look at the design team, we might find like one or two people that worked on Sword and Shield and this game.
Hmm.
Because I feel like most of the characters in this game are kind of like I said in Sword and Shield, like their like design is memorable and you can like remember who they are.
Hmm.
Some of them are definitely misses like Wolfric,
Yeah.
um, but others are like bangers like the new fairy type gym leader.
Hmm.
She has
Uh,
a distinct design. It's like something I can't remember her name.
oh, yeah. So it's memorable, but you can't remember her name.
I can't remember her
Wow.
name, but I definitely like remember
Uh,
her design. I think it's something with the V,
let,
if I remember
let
correctly.
me see. The fairy type gym leader. It was Olympia.
No, that's the
No.
seventh gym leader. Up one
Oh,
more.
sorry. It was Valerie.
Valerie. See, I
Yeah.
knew it started with a
Sorry.
V.
Is yeah. Psychic type gym leader was Olympia.
Like I said,
Yeah.
memorable. Started with a V, and
Yeah.
this is on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah. Who are the other
But
gym
yeah,
leaders?
Clemont, pretty cool. Seventh and eighth gym leader are completely forgettable.
Oh yeah,
Ramos,
Ramos. I forgot about him.
then there's
Karina, I
Karina.
feel like was more memorable because she had more of a plot. Like she had more,
She had
not
more of an
like not like
integral part.
right, exactly, exactly. Grant
Whatever.
was just basically like, hey, I want Brock. It's like we have Brock at home,
Yeah,
and this is
we
the
have Brock.
Brock at home.
We have Brock in France.
Yeah, it's Le Brock.
Lay Brock, and then they had the first gym leader, which is Viola, I think.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
I believe it was Viola. Yeah, Viola was the bug gym leader.
bug gym leader. Yeah,
Yeah, who had
which I think
Vivilla.
is actually like a fairly decent like gym for bug
Hmm.
type because bug types
Yeah,
are like normally weak, and so like
yeah,
having that as like a first challenge is definitely like a
exactly.
confidence booster. Except for
Yeah,
when you're doing Nuzlocke, you just get shat on.
exactly. Honestly, for when in my Nuzlocke, I was fine on this, but I mean,
Hmm.
I feel like Grant was a bastard because his Pokemon were the fossils and Tyrant's a part Dragon type. Like that's
Right,
brutal.
right. So moving on from there, where I was leading to going with all the design is that this is the first generation we had trainer customization.
Yes.
Although it was very one-handed because like I think if the girls like design is like they have like way more
Yeah.
options, whereas the boys have kind of just
That's
like
just how it
yeah,
always is, though. Like in pretty much any games, they never really get much customization options of guys for
right,
whatever reason, social stigma possibly. But
right,
no, for the girls, it's always like there's always better customization options, even up until Sword and Shield. There's always something better,
right,
and so it's like I feel like that nowadays. I feel more incentivized to like play as the female characters because of all the customization options. Are, like so much better.
right.
Yeah.
So it is at least because I remember playing as the guy. It's like very basic. There are only
Mhm.
so many things that you can change. Really, it's just like jackets, pants, a
Mhm.
very small selection of shoes and backpacks.
Mhm.
Or no, I don't think you can change the backpack. I think
Yeah.
you can change the hat and the glasses.
But I do like with this that they started the precedent of that every item is changeable instead of like Brilliant Diamond they had it's just the whole outfit instead of just changing every individual accessory.
Right.
So yeah.
It was very modular. You could pick
Hmm.
like these glasses with that shirt, with that pants and stuff like that. They
Exactly.
also added like a changing room to the Pokemon Center, which I think was a very neat addition that we haven't
Yeah.
seen or have we seen or where can you change clothes in Sword and Shield?
I think with Sword and Shield you have to go to the clothing shops.
Okay, so then the next why you could do it at the clothing shops. And you could
Hmm.
actually buy like it would show you like what it looks like on your
Hmm.
person,
Yeah.
and then you could buy it and wear it out the store, which I thought was hilarious. And then
Yeah.
you know, and you could also like just go to the changing room in the store, and then also vice versa. You could just go to the Pokemon Center and change. But yeah, I
Exactly.
think that was a really neat option. I'm
Hmm.
eager to see what the customization is like in Scarlet and Violet because we do
Yeah.
know that you can do that.
Yeah, and they did
I wonder if
announce
they're. Go ahead.
recently, like yesterday, the day before that. Well, the pre-orders have gone up for Scarlet and Violet on the Pokemon Center website,
Mhm.
and so their pre-order bonus usually like they have like a plush, like a
Oh
keychain size
yeah,
plush. Dude, this time it's just you get a backpack in the game. It's just a different
right,
backpack. Like,
right. I haven't seen it.
and
I
they
did
didn't
read
show it.
about it.
They didn't
Did
show
they?
it.
Oh, they
No,
didn't show it. Oh,
no,
okay,
they haven't
great.
shown it. They just said you get a backpack and that's it.
Nice. Nice.
Oh,
Not even
so
20
dumb.
quick balls or, you know, what
Nothing.
yeah, it's just a backpack. I am eager to see that the trainer customization looks like in Scarlet and Violet. I'm really
Yeah.
hoping I can also choose a older player character and not look like I'm 8 years old.
Yeah,
But,
right.
you know, we'll see. We'll save our thoughts for that game when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, trainer customization, this was the first generation was introduced. It was a very needed addition to the franchise. I feel like the you know up through generations five, like your trainer was okay to look at, but I know people really wanted always have always wanted to like you know you're supposed to impose yourself on the player character, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with the trainer customization, it really gave you that choice, like
Yeah,
more so than it has before.
exactly. Because everybody was just like the same characters basically before Generation 6, and now,
Mhm.
I mean, there are more options for it. Like, when you're picking your character in the beginning of the game, you could choose like their hair color and whatnot. But now it's like
Mhm.
you get to go a step even further with that with the modular clothing options. I like that word
Right,
modular, but
right.
yeah,
I feel
it
like
was cool that they set that precedent with this generation.
going forward, I know it would add like a ton of more development time on the game, but I feel like
Hmm.
it to keep going on that you know train of like making the character yours, because let's face it, you're playing an RPG without any of the role playing aspects.
Yeah.
So I feel like if later on, in later games, like maybe they introduce like player choice decisions. Obviously,
Mhm.
it's not going to be like anything the lengths of like Fallout,
Or Mass
it,
Effect.
it, or Mass Effect. It'll definitely just be like yes or
Yeah.
no. Or you're
Yeah.
from Yes Town or from no. I've never been to No Town. But I feel like like very small, like pivotal choices or stuff like that, because there are
Yeah.
stuff where it's like, oh, you'll take the Pokedex, right? And you're like, no. And Professor Rowan's like, oh, I'll give you a second to think about it. You'll take this Pokedex,
Mhm.
no,
That was
and
so
stuff like that.
frustrating. Anytime that they were like, "Hey, you want to join Team Rocket, right?" And I'm like, "Hell yes, let me join." They're like, I can see it that you're lying. Don't
I
you
can
want
see that
to?"
you're lying.
Yeah. Ugh, it's so dumb. Like, give me options that stick with me, but
Right.
I
I
know they
feel like
won't.
that's the future, that that will be like the next huge addition to the game. But
Hmm.
like I said, it'd probably add like a bunch more development time, because they'd have to go
Yeah.
through and make sure all those choices like either pay off or B
Mhm.
have some effect.
Yeah, but I feel like that decisions that they have you choose, even if it seems like it's gonna be like a long term thing, they end up redacting it later on as like, oh, you pick like this fossil Pokemon or this one, and it's like, oh yeah, you get the other one later on or whatever it is. I feel like that they
Right.
end up like backtracking on that kind of stuff later on, so you're not like left out of whatever options.
Right.
Yeah.
And so moving on from from all the trainer customizations, because that's like leads you to like the first area and the first gym where you battle Viola,
Hmm.
and then that leads you to the newest addition to this game. So no longer do you hold B, or I think you can do B and run,
Hmm. Yeah,
but
when you
if
use the
you
D-pad.
when you use the D-pad, but if you use the circle pad and you like, I don't know how it gauges like the distance, because if you do it a little bit, you're just walking, but if you full on like tilt it, you bust out your roller skates, baby.
Hell yeah, roller skates, let's roll. Uh,
Roller skates. So yeah,
yeah.
roller skates are the new mechanic in this game. They're pretty cool. I'm pretty sure you can go through some grass, but not all grass with the roller skates.
Actually, I think it automatically turns you back to your shoes when you go into the grass. Like when you use the circle pad and you walk in the grass. I think it just makes you walk. But
Hmm.
yeah, up until like that first gym city, I forget what city it's called, but basically you get the roller skates after you win the gym, but before that you just use walking on your circle pad the whole time. And after that, like it ups your speed, not as fast as the bike. I mean, you could go faster, but then there are also some other like tricks that you could do too. There's like flips that you could do off of the jumps, and there's like spinning,
Hmm.
and they try and add a little bit of that, which I thought was cool. But the way that you get those tricks seems like convoluted. That I feel like I had to use a guide to find out, like, oh, you could do backflips. Like, how do you
Right.
do that? Yeah.
Right. It's only on certain like stuff in the game that you can do something like that. You can do
Hmm.
spinning on those roller skates whenever, but yeah, it was very cool. And then they also had like this boost feature where if you build up enough momentum and then like go on a straightaway, you can go faster.
Hmm. Right.
So I thought that was neat. They really put a lot of effort into the roller skates mechanic,
Hmm.
even though a lot of people probably were just like, "Oh, you can go faster, lol,
Yeah.
whatever."
It seemed like the bike was an afterthought in this game. Like all
Well, the
you do
bike,
is just
yeah,
you just move like neutrally faster. You don't do any tricks. You don't go faster. Like, and the only thing that you choose is the color of the bike. That's it.
I will say they definitely like when they give you the bike in the second town.
Hmm.
That town is really designed for the bike, not only because the gym leader is like a bike guy, but B, it's just like a bigger town. It has like a
Hmm.
bigger surface area for you to ride that bike around.
Yeah.
And so it's like I get that they put some effort into it, but like you said, for the rest of the game, it's kind of just okay, whatever. I can go faster on the bike
Hmm. Yeah.
and
So
stuff
I
like that.
I feel like I ended up using the roller skates more and more. It seemed like it was more relevant. But also, this generation, was it in Gen 5? I can't remember. At least with choosing your key item that they could allocate it to the D-pad.
No, I think this was the first generation with that, because in Black and White 2,
Oh right,
you
it
just
was
have
like
a
a selection
list.
list. Yeah, it was a list.
Yeah,
So this one is like they relegate some key items. You could basically do shortcuts onto the D-pad. Whereas like you
yeah,
press a
Y
button.
and then the
Yeah,
D-pad.
yeah, exactly. Which I thought was really cool. I thought that was a good idea on their part. Although
Right.
I did like the list in Gen 5. I thought that
Yeah,
that
it
was
is a
nice as
step
well.
back because you can't do everything on there, because you can only
Yeah.
have four directions of the D-pad, so you have to
Hmm.
be picky about what you put on there.
Exactly.
But I always think it was just the same for me. It's the dowsing machine, the bike, the Poke Radar, and then like
Mhm.
something else.
Exactly. Like you're not gonna put
So
like the card key onto
yeah, you're not gonna put like a potion or something
mhm.
all in there.
Yeah. Exactly.
So they had that, and then we roll into what we were talking about earlier, the gyms.
Mhm.
So, like I said, the first gym is very neat in design. Is the lady's like a photographer, and like her hobby is like doing like bug Pokemon photos.
Mhm.
And so then that leads you into her gym where you take a stripper pole down, and then you land on a giant spider web.
Hell yeah.
And then yeah, you just navigate the web, and eventually you get to her, and you battle her. Her
Mhm.
design's great. She's
Yeah.
wearing like a tank top with a jacket, like the
Mhm.
kung fu jacket
Mhm.
wrapped around her waist,
Right.
and she's got a camera.
Yeah.
But like I said, I really like it that the first gym is a bug type because, like I said, traditionally bug types are weak, so it's not that hard of a challenge,
Mhm.
which kind of spells what we're gonna go into later about this game. That is, no challenge. But yeah, and then you do that, and what were your thoughts on the first gym? Did you like it? Hate it?
It was fine. Like you said, it was a good introductory gym.
Hmm.
I thought it was nice that they added Vivillon as the ace Pokemon basically,
Hmm.
because it's essentially this generation's Butterfree because you get it at level 10.
Hmm.
And so it was good. It was like a pseudo challenge. It's like, oh shoot, it's a final stage. It's a 3-stage Pokemon, and you have to battle it. But then you
Right.
realize, oh yeah, this thing's a pushover.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was a good way to get you acclimated. Also showed you the diversity and like the gym styles on this one too, because they started doing that more, I think, with the later generation, where they started showing you like, hey, you're not just gonna walk forward to like get to the gym leader. I think that there's challenges that were adapted for 3DS and for just 3D in general.
Right, because it does. You do have to use the 8 different directions to go
Yeah,
on those different spiderweb paths.
exactly. Yeah, this was a really good introductory gym for sure.
Right. Now we get into the most controversial part that I had about this game is that so the first gym is in the third town of the game because
Hmm.
you have your starter town, you have like this mid town, and then you have the first gym town.
Hmm.
And then you go through one, two, three. Yeah, you go through 3 different towns, it was 5 routes in a cave to get to the second gym,
Hmm. Yeah, you go through
which is
hell to get to it.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and you look at the levels of the Pokemon that Grant has compared to Viola, and like the levels are doubled, like they're over doubled from what
I
it was
mean, yeah,
before.
it's like, yeah, okay, you plan for it, but why? When I,
Yeah,
I remember playing it, I was like, what? Where is the second gym?
yeah, yeah. It's like, are they just gonna like just not gonna have gyms anymore? They're just like, oh yeah, it's just gonna be a teaser, and you're
Because
never gonna get a
because
gym
let's
again.
let's go through this. Okay, you
Yeah.
you get your first batch. You go to Lumiose City. Oh, ooh, big city. Half of it's shut off because of a power outage. Okay,
Hmm.
whatever, fine. Okay, you go on a new route. They do, you go on the route. You follow your fucking rivals, friends, whatever.
Hmm.
Okay, I got through the route. Okay, now I'm going through a cave, small cave, very small cave, just one linear path. Okay, now I'm on the coast. Now
Hmm.
I'm navigating my way down the coast. Okay, there's this other town that serves no purpose. Oh wait, I gotta go to a different cave because of the story. I do that. I come back. I travel up this beach to
Hmm.
the fucking second gym, which is on a cliff that I
Yeah.
have to walk all the way up.
Hmm.
And it's just like,
Yeah, and
Jesus.
then you gotta go up the fucking aggro crag just
Yeah,
to
and then you
get
gotta
to.
freaking rock climb all the way up to the damn
Yeah,
second gym.
yeah. When literally, like with the Generation One with Brock, it was just walk forward.
Right, and I'm all for adventure, but at
Yeah,
some point I was just telling myself like, Jesus, like just
like
let me battle the
this
second gym
payoff
leader
better be
already,
worth it. Like,
right?
yeah. Granted, he did have a strong
Granted,
team.
granted, this fucking podcast is over. Fuck you, you piece of shit.
I did not think.
Granted,
I did not think
granted.
about
That's the problem. Think, Alex, think.
so stupid after 5 years. Uh, yeah. So I was hoping
Granted,
that the payoff would have been worth it, and the battle is tough. It's
it is
pretty
tough,
brutal.
yeah. I mean, like you said,
But
he does have 2 fossil Pokemon, one of which is
yeah,
a dragon,
yeah,
both of which are rock,
yeah.
which I believe rock has the most type advantages.
Mhm.
Is the most type it has the most type advantage against other
Advantageous.
Pokemon
Yeah.
because
And
it's good against fire, rock, flying. Um, there's a couple other ones I'm forgetting.
hmm but
But wait,
yeah,
is it bug?
the fossil Pokemon were great in this generation as well. I really like both fossil Pokemon.
I mean,
Uh,
eventually they had to get to it. All they had to do
mhm.
was a T-Rex fossil Pokemon, and I was
Yeah,
already on board.
yeah, exactly. I mean, granted, I never.
Granted, I'm gonna
Shit.
drive over to your house and punch you in the face.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so for me, I ended up picking Amora every time because it's an ice type and that's my favorite.
Hmm.
But I didn't realize how good Amora was gonna be. Like, I was like, oh yeah, an ice type, awesome. I'm gonna pick it. I'm just gonna have it on my team because it has type diversity. But no, that thing was a fucking monster. It was so good. And
Right.
Auroras ended up being my favorite Pokemon to use in X and Y.
Hmm.
I loved every time I got to use it.
I'm kind of confused as to why they haven't done more dinosaur-like fossil Pokemon. I mean, granted, or not granted.
Ha!
Damn it!
Granted!
Damn it!
Granted, you bitch!
I mean, what do you call it? We had Anorith and Lileep,
Yeah.
and then we had what was it? Shieldon, Bath. Yeah, I guess yeah, they have done more dinosaur
Yeah,
Pokemon.
it's
I
like
don't
Gen
know.
2 was the only one that didn't have fossil Pokemon up
Fossil
until now.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Gen 5 we had Archeops and Turtoga,
Yeah.
and then Gen 6 we had Amoris. So, yeah, I guess we have had more dinosaur Pokemon. I don't know. I guess I'm thinking of more like the
Like a
because we got
well, no, we had Aerodactyl as the
yeah, we
pterodactyl.
haven't had like a raptor, I guess.
Yeah, we haven't had a raptor. We haven't had a Stegosaurus.
We haven't had,
Um,
no, Amoris is a Stegosaurus. We
no,
haven't
that's a
had
Brontosaurus.
oh, where's the one with like the spade shape on the backs?
Yeah, that's a Stegosaurus.
Oh, that's a Stegosaurus? Okay,
Yeah.
we haven't had like a
God,
spine one
didn't
either.
you watch Jurassic Park?
Yeah, trust me,
Bruh, did you
the
fall
dinosaurs
asleep?
the dinosaurs weren't oh, which one? Because
All of them.
I thought you were talking about the newest one. I was like the
I
dinosaurs
haven't
weren't
watched
the
the
main
latest
plot of
one.
that one.
I haven't watched the latest one yet.
I'll tell you that much right now. They weren't the main point of that movie.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
But
know.
yeah,
It's they need to do more dinosaur variety.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like with Gen 8 they
Like a
try. I mean,
like a plesiosaur would
it,
be
it's
dope.
it's weird because like we got technically four fossil Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Which would have been great because fossil Pokemon are cool. But the problem is that they're like, oh, we got to twist the formula more. Let's
Mhm.
just like Frankenstein these things up. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
still part of the camp that I would have preferred four
Mhm.
like
I
whole
agree.
fossil
I
Pokemon.
agree. Yeah, I
I mean,
agree.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Gen 8's fossil Pokemon were kind of lame.
I feel like they had it. They're like
Mhm.
four fossil Pokemon. That's we've never
Yeah.
done it before. It's awesome,
I
and people love fossil Pokemon.
It was a cool concept in theory, but in reality they just look stupid. Like they
Right.
really really dumb. Like it's just
Here's
puzzle pieces
hoping.
that don't fit.
Right, here's hoping Scarlet and Violet get like more fossil Pokemon than two, or
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
prefer they have like three.
We need a
They don't
Loch
have to go
Ness
four.
fossil Pokemon. We need
Loch Ness
Nessie.
fossil
We need
Pokemon,
Nessie.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that like I said, the second gym was whatever. It took forever. Third gym,
Mhm.
Karina, that we'll save for another point later because that's a
Mhm.
whole other thing. Fourth gym, Ramos, forgettable. Fifth gym is
Who?
Clemont. Yeah, fifth gym is Clemont, and was it Prism Tower
Uh, yeah, possibly.
or Lumiose Tower, whatever it is? But
Uh,
yeah, it's the big pair. It's the big
yeah,
tower in France.
yeah,
The sixth gym leader is Valerie, the fairy type gym leader,
yeah. Mhm.
which was very neat. I really liked her gym concept because it's basically like what a dollhouse.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
basically Sabrina's gym, but a dollhouse
Mhm. And they
because
showed
it had the teleporting
Sylveon,
pads.
the new
Yeah,
evolution.
yeah, that was the other thing we skipped.
Yeah,
We didn't talk about with the fairy type. Sylveon is the newest fairy type evolution.
yeah,
I
which
think
was
the newest
so dope,
evolution in general. No.
so dope. Yeah, and this is yeah, it's the first evolution since Gen 4,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a fairy type evolution.
Hmm.
It looks cool. I really like Sylveon actually, but getting
Hmm.
it in this game fucking sucked. It was so terrible trying to get Sylveon. I
Well, I
remember,
mean,
I still
you
remember
needed.
very vividly laying on my bed for like 2 hours just trying to play Pokemon and me to raise the friendship of this stupid Eevee. I'm doing these stupid faces like
Oh, you used the camera
like a
function.
psychopath, just trying to
Yeah.
get it happy, just trying to make it happy.
Because nowadays you just need it to have friendship and fairy
Yeah,
move. No.
exactly, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, they made it a lot easier now, but before it was a mother and a half to get Sylveon.
But yeah, I really liked her gym. It's basically Sabrina's gym with the teleporting, but like the dollhouse concept and then all the trainer designs are pretty cool.
Hmm.
That's another thing. They had like the trainer cut-ins in this one.
Yeah.
For the first time because I feel like Gen 5 had like a plethora of different trainer types, but Gen
Mhm.
6 really leaned into it where they had like the cut it was like the art and then it faded into like the battle.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Exactly.
I thought that was really cool. Gen 7 or not Gen 7, 7th gym leader Olivia, whatever. It wasn't
Olympia.
Olympia. It
Yeah.
wasn't like a really cool
Yeah,
gym. It
it
was
was
just like, oh,
fine. It just
yeah.
was, I don't know. it's also same thing like Grant. It's just like, I want Sabrina. It's like we have Sabrina at home.
We have Sabrina in France.
Yeah, we have Sabrina in France.
And then Wolfric, whose gym was
Ace
just
Gym, Ice type
yeah,
baby. Let's go.
very
Yeah.
very poor representation of the ice type here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then again, yeah, it's just
Not
like
to
the
mention
big
that now
ice
that
type
you're
of this
here,
generation was Avalugg, which
yeah,
I'm fine with Avalugg, but God, is it just like I just like offensive Pokemon way more than defense.
right.
So
But now that you mention it, because you're scrolling up on the Pokemon, do you notice something that all the gym leaders have in common?
3 Pokemon.
Three Pokemon. What the hell is up with this
Yeah,
game?
3 Pokemon. That is, as we say in the Pokemon world, no fucking challenge.
Yeah, no fucking challenge. And that leads us into our next point that the EXP share is a key item. And when it's
Yes.
given to you at the after the first gym, it's on by default.
Yeah, but you could turn it off though, which is nice compared to the other games where it's on there forced.
Yeah, you can turn it off by default, which you know will do that. But if you just like forget about it, or like you just like you're pushing A so fast that you skip over it,
Mm.
like all your Pokemon gain experience and your fucking levels just go up like crazy
Mm-hmm.
because there's no like what is it, like half the experience of the Pokemon?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, half. Because if it was like a fourth, maybe I don't know. They probably tweaked with
Yeah.
the EX with
But
the share a
but
lot.
still, it shouldn't have been on as a default.
It's
Like it.
just that the levels that your Pokemon go through as you go through, or as you play the game, just go up like at a constant rate that is never like overshadowing your Pokemon, but
Mhm.
it is like caught up. So if
Yeah.
you're like Pokemon that uses 38, you could be damn sure that your Pokemon that have the XP share are like level 35.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess playing devil's advocate, it is nice that it cuts down on the grinding. Like cuts down on
Hmm.
grinding, which because I could definitely appreciate that. But
Hmm.
also, I feel like that you lose playtime by not grinding. It's like I
Right.
feel like you're not going back to it to like train and like find places to grind and like all that. It keeps it a nice level playing ground. It seems like.
Right. I think that the gym leaders with 3 Pokemon is like
But
severely
that's so
handicapped.
dumb. Like
Yeah.
they should have given them like 4, 5. Hell, like give Wolfric a 16 battle. Like make it fucking difficult.
I am a huge advocate that the eighth gym leader should be a 16
Mhm.
a 16 battle.
I
I'm
could, I
actually
agree.
very interested to see how they do it in Scarlet Violet because it's supposed to be open. You can take out any
Yeah,
gym at any time,
one Pokemon.
right? Because I remember in Origins, they had it where it was like a very small throwaway scene where
Uh,
Brock is talking to the Red, and he's like, "How many gym badges do you have?" And he's like, "None." So Brock walks over, and like a shelf opens up, and there's 6 Pokeballs, and he only picks up 2. So
mhm,
I have a feeling that like in the deep Pokemon lore, if you have no badges, it's 2 Pokemon. If you
mhm.
have a badge, 3.
Or
If
you'd
you
be
have
like
three
Gary and you
badges,
have 10 badges.
yeah, if you have 3 badges, 4. If you have 5 badges, then 5. And then if you have 8 or 7, then it's 8. It's a full 6-on-6 battle.
Mhm. It's so lame that they didn't bother with like anything on just giving them more of like a difficult team. Like I feel like that this
Right.
was a game that they really wanted to make it easy on people, and I hate that.
Not to mention, do me a favor,
Like,
scroll up to Karina real quick.
yeah,
Do you notice a problem here?
Halucha is not her ace Pokemon is wait no her ace Pokemon is Halucha. It is level 32. I don't know why
Mm-hmm.
Cerebi set it up like
Mm-hmm.
that,
Mm-hmm. And
but
do you know something else about her too?
3 Pokemon.
They're your Pokemon, but there's a missing Lucario there that plays a key role in the
Right,
story, and the fact
right.
that the
Oh shit, I didn't
fucking
realize
gym leader
that.
that introduces Mega Evolution doesn't have Mega Evolution as a thing,
Oh,
and
why?
it's just like, okay, you're not gonna give them all 6 Pokemon. Okay,
Sure.
whatever. At least give them a Mega Pokemon in the same
Nothing.
generation that Mega Evolution was
I feel like that
introduced.
they should have advertised that more. It's like, yeah, this is the first generation of megas. Give them megas.
Not to mention, you have access to Mega Evolution
That's
at the
so.
third gym. So for the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth gym to have
You're
3 Pokemon
sweeping
with
them.
no Mega Evolutions is just downright
It's a crime.
boring.
It's
Yeah,
stupid.
you
I
just
didn't
blow
realize
through these
that.
gyms. Yeah, as soon as you get access to Mega Evolution, the 3 Pokemon, you just blow through
No
them all. There
challenge.
is
There's no
no
challenge.
challenge. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my
absolutely none.
god.
So for
That's
the gyms, I feel bad for them because you just steamroll them.
yeah.
They're nothing. They're
Yeah. Also,
garbage.
why doesn't Karina have a Lucario? Like
Oh,
every time
because
you
you
see her, she has
yeah.
Lucario.
Oh, because you battle her in the tower and the Introduce Mega Evolutions over there, which we'll get to later. But yeah, it's just when we're talking about the gyms, it's very hard to not talk about how fucking easy they are.
Yeah. I feel like that this was the first generation where they really started to like make it easier for like everybody, which is
Hmm.
really dumb because like the generation before literally had a challenge mode. Granted, you don't get it till the end of the game, but still they had a challenge mode. They had a hard mode. This
Right.
has nothing,
Nothing.
no challenge.
No challenge.
So
That's X and Y. That's the title card. Pokemon X and Y.
no
No challenge.
challenge, no challenge mode.
No challenge.
Yeah.
So
So moving on from there,
our
uh,
rage.
yeah, one of the new battling mechanics in this game for some wild battles is horde battles, which
Hmm.
I feel like that you'd be more familiar with this than I would
Hmm.
because that's
So
how it
when you're
was
running,
with SOS battles as well.
yeah, when you're running through grass, you have a small chance of encountering a horde of Pokemon, which is a Pokemon of the same type up to five, depending on like the setting.
Hmm.
So yeah, there are some routes where it'll be four Pokemon and then one other Pokemon, but if they're like the same species or like they have some common link, like the Plusle and Minums or the Seviper and Zangoose or the Nidoran male and female,
Hmm.
Heatmore and Durant. What was the other ones right there?
It's Trevenant, Sudowoodo,
Trevenant,
Rock and Roll,
Sudowoodo,
Carbink,
yeah, Rock and Roller, Carbink, and then what's the one on Route 32 or
uh,
13? It's right above the Heatmore Durant.
Heatmore, Durant, Nidorino.
Below it, my bad.
Oh, let's see, this Heatmore, Durant. That's Tauros and Miltank.
Tauros and Miltank. Yeah, so each of those horde encounters have like something in common,
Hmm.
whereas the other ones are just five copies of the other Pokemon. So it makes sense in a lore perspective, especially with some of like the earlier horde Pokemon because they're just like a gathering of weak Pokemon together.
Hmm.
And animals, certain animals in this world, travel in packs or stuff like that. So I really felt like it was a nice mechanic to have. In order to get like 100% encounter with the horde, you have to use
Hmm.
sweet scent. And like I
Yeah.
said, when you're walking through regular grass, there's like a chance of it happening.
Hmm.
But it really did a lot for EV training because if you could knock out five of the same Pokemon that give you the same EVs, like, and you give Macho Brace,
Hmm.
so it becomes from
Yeah.
5 to 10, and you get EV training done in
Yeah.
like a couple of horde battles.
Right.
Also helped out for shiny Pokemon hunting because you're counting five Pokemon at a time.
Right.
I've used the mechanic myself, and
I think I did too. I think I
I
got a
found a
shiny
decent amount.
Gulpin with
I
that.
got a lot of shiny Gulpin.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very useful mechanic. It's a shame that it hasn't come back. This is the
Hmm.
mechanic I really feel should be staple in each Pokemon game
Hmm.
because it just makes so much more sense. Like every
Yeah.
time you see Pokemon in the anime, they're always traveling like in packs, unless like one of them serves a purpose in the story.
Hmm. Like a lone wolf kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. I feel like that this should have come back, and I'm surprised that it didn't. Like, I feel like that
yeah.
should have just been like a standard.
Not to mention it gave like more moves like Rock Slide or moves that attack all Pokemon, or I think
Yeah.
like Blast, and they could they
Yeah.
could expand on this like moves that attack two Pokemon,
Yeah.
because I believe like Flame Blast attacks one Pokemon and then the Pokemon right next to it,
Or even like
or Flame
Earthquake
Burst.
would have like max potential over here because you're not worried about hurting your teammate because it's just a 1 on 5.
Yeah, it just was 1 on 5 and it hurts all of them in one
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
So I really
exactly.
feel like they could do that with the moves like that, and then
Mhm.
just they could increase the list of like Pokemon that would be in a horde and give like the world more feeling, I guess, like
Mhm.
more like closer to like what it would be like to be in the Pokemon world.
Right. Right. I agree. Uh, yeah. Then another thing that we had as well, speaking about battle mechanics. So there's a couple
Hmm.
different trainer battles you encounter occasionally throughout your journey through the Kalos region.
Right.
Is the sky battles,
Sky
and
Battle trainers, yeah.
yeah. So basically, there are some trainers that are on the route where they're standing on a pedestal, and if you encounter them, if they see you or if you talk to them, they're like, "Hey, do you want to do a sky battle?" Assuming you have a Pokemon that is a flying type
Or has levitate or
or has
something like
levitate.
that.
Yeah, exactly. You can't battle them unless you have one of those criteria,
Right.
and you can only use those Pokemon, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
only the flying type Pokemon that you're available to
Hmm.
use. You can't use any other Pokemon type.
Exactly. Which I thought was kind of interesting, but it's just kind of like a cheap little gimmick. I feel like. But
I
then there
feel
was
like
yeah.
to expand on that, there should have been a Sky Battle on at least on one at least on all the routes, and then
Mhm.
if you like, kind of like the master whatever trainers
Mhm.
in Let's Go,
Yeah.
and like if you had beaten them, like you get like some fake badge or something like that, and
Yeah, or
then
some
maybe like
like rib.
a hidden ability,
Yeah.
Talon Flame or something.
Yeah, like a sticker or something, some kind of incentive.
Right, I really feel like the hidden ability, like Fletchinder or whatever, because like you
Hmm.
could like after you beat them all, then the last one tells you like go here, and then that's when you battle like the Sky Battle Ace or whatever, and it's like a
Hmm.
full six. It's like maybe it's a full a 4v4 or a six, or he
Like,
has like five
let me
flying
take a
types or
look.
whatever,
Let me take
and
a
you
look
can
actually.
and you could do that. I feel like that would have made the Sky Battle mechanic like a lot more
Uh, let's see.
funner or have like
Funner.
funner,
It
cool thing to do.
Well, this is the whole list of all the Sky Trainer or Sky Battles.
Yeah, so there is no like Grandmaster or something that like
Hmm.
you can like get,
Yeah.
but I feel like that would have been a nice little cherry on top, like as something to do, parallel to your journey
Hmm.
to do something like that. Because I believe or no, that was an anime for Kaleidoscope, but I was like, there is like a Sky Battle trainer in the anime, and
Hmm.
I also think they fight Zapdos in one of the Sky Battles in X and Y.
Oh, do they?
Hmm.
God, I need to go back to the anime, honestly. Like,
Right.
I stopped sometime early on in Black and White. Like, I watched everything up until then, and I just stopped because I realized that every episode for that point was getting formulaic, and I
Right.
just lost interest.
Yeah, and the other key battle change, it's only in one spot and it's only one guy you can do it against, but it's like it's like inverse battles. And what that does is that it switches the type disadvantages on its head. So no longer is fire good against grass, it's grass is good against fire.
Right. Yeah, the inverse battles. That was, it was just like one battle, wasn't it?
It was one guy, and then
Yeah.
like you could like yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's that guy right there, and then he gives you like something for each time you
Yeah.
battle him.
Yeah.
And he has like multiple Pokemon he can
There's a
use,
whole
but
arsenal, Jesus.
as you could see, yeah, as you could see with the type chart up there, like everything has been switched on its head,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like dark is good against fighting, water is good against grass. It's like super weird.
Yeah, it's so strange. You really
And
have to overthink on that one.
same thing with, like I said, with the Sky Battles. I really would have enjoyed like if you like could do this, and then like there's like a reward, like like if you keep battling him, like you see you get those items right there, but if you
Mm-hmm.
like beat him like 50 or 100 times, you get like a special like Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like how when you complete the Pokedex in Black and White 2, you get the shiny Haxorus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of something like that. It doesn't have to be a shiny Pokemon, it could
Yeah.
just be like a hidden ability, something,
Yeah, or
just
like
something.
something with
Yeah,
like an opposite move set.
right.
Like you get like a Blastoise with a fire type move set, or like a grass
Yeah,
type
that
move
would,
set. Like
or like a
something like that
Pikachu
would
would
be.
surf. Yeah,
Yeah, a serving
something like
Pikachu.
that.
Yeah.
That would be that would be like something unique and exciting to like get.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I feel like maybe if they're in the remake, or maybe if this game had more time to cook,
Yeah.
then we could have gotten stuff like that.
Yeah. No. Or they should have just used an inverse battle in each generation. I feel like that this is something they could have translated over, like the horde battles. I mean,
Oh,
sky
dude,
battles, yeah, I can take or leave,
this
but
could have
yeah.
easily been like a Battle Frontier like
Mhm.
area.
Oh my
Imagine like a whole,
god!
yeah, imagine like a whole thing of inverse
Oh my
battles.
god!
And
That
like, dude, oh,
yeah.
I can only get so
Stop.
hard.
Oh.
I can only get so hard. But yeah, to hashtag bring back Battle
Yeah.
Frontier,
Instead of like the battle
because
pike, they just like it's just like an inverted snake. Like it's
yeah,
just
because you
God.
have shit like this with Sky Battles and stuff like that. Imagine if these were Battle Frontier places,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Yeah.
each generation had like if there was a triple battle place, or if there was like I feel
A
like there
rotation
are,
battle or
yeah, I feel like there are tons of ideas that they can do, that they
they just
just
scrap them after every generation is
yeah,
so stupid.
that they can draw upon. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
swear.
Yeah, they had the stupid fucking battle royale, but luckily it was only isolated in Generation 7. But still, I feel like all these things should have been like translated over. Like
I
I'm sure
know.
it doesn't take that much computing power to have like an inverse battle or like whatever it
Yeah.
is.
It's just,
Yeah.
because it's literally swapping the code. It's literally just like, hey, instead of fire being super effective against true or against grass, it's false. So then
Mhm.
now you would apply all that stuff. It's literally like one line. I
Mhm.
shit you not.
Yeah.
But yeah, what could have been and where we are, we're in the darkest timeline.
Hmm.
Moving on.
Yeah. So, well, I feel like the next point that's like on our list is something
Mhm.
that they introduced in Gen 5. So, do we really need to talk
Was it?
about it? Unlimited use TMs.
Were they?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Well, yeah, TMs in this
yeah.
game are unlimited
Yeah.
use, probably the same as Gen 5. Put
Yeah.
the little note right there.
Yeah.
But they really helped, especially with the competitive battling scene,
Right.
because breeding in this game is a lot more easier than Gen 5.
Hmm.
I believe they added a couple more breeding mechanics in Gen 6
Hmm.
that made it a little bit more easier, especially with our next point coming up. I just feel like this was like the generation that would entice people to get into more competitive battling, or at
Yeah.
least build a team of three so they could do like the random spot battles against people and actually feel like they have a decent chance instead of getting just
Just getting swamped. Yeah.
curve stomped by some guy that's like sweating and on the small on boards like, how do I
Mm.
make Snorlax the fucking belly drum max attack, fucking what's Wonder Room fucking Snorlax team.
Hmm. Just
Yeah,
full neck
yeah,
beard.
it made it accessible to people, and it made it a lot more accessible than it has ever been before. And that's something that we didn't ask for, but we got, and I think is a great addition to this
Yeah.
game. It doesn't raise it out of where it is now because it's still got a lot of problems, but it
Hmm.
was definitely something that, as a whole and moving forward, was needed.
Oh yeah, but unfortunately we reverted back to with Generation 8. They introduced, well, they brought back the disposable TMs, but they also brought in TRs as well. Or well, no,
Mm.
the TMs are reusable, but TRs are disposable, right?
TRs are disposable, yeah. So,
Yeah,
but the
so
TM
T
moves aren't that great,
yeah,
but or some of them are, but the TRs are like your
mhm,
flamethrower, earthquake, muddy water, rock slide,
exactly. So those ones you
thunderbolt.
could, yeah, those ones you usually earn from like the dens, like the max,
Hmm.
like the raids and all that
And
stuff.
now, mind you, it's not that hard to get
Yeah,
because it's
exactly. Exactly. And also they shower you with them, especially if you're like doing like the when they have those events going on.
right. I think I
Yeah.
have like almost 93 water ones from the time we
Yeah.
were looking for Quagsire or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah, or Polytoad.
Polytoad, yeah, that
Yeah.
Polytoad, that was it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so after that, so the topic that Bono was about to get into was Pokemon Ami.
Pokemon Me,
Yeah.
it was basically like your bottom screen functionality because
Mhm.
you had your Sea Gear in Gen 5 and you had your Pokédex in Gen 4. So they needed something else to do in Gen 6, but I feel like it's a lot more than those two combined, really.
Mhm.
Because Pokemon and Me is your like interaction with your Pokemon, so like you
Mhm.
can like actually see it, and I believe it also has 3D, where you
Mhm.
can like tap, like tap the screen, or yeah, and look at it and like
Mhm.
feed it
Interact.
treats and
Like you have
interact,
that
right?
bond with that Pokemon instead of it just being a killing machine.
Right, and I believe overall that affected friendship as well as it gave you access to some of the like BS, like, oh, it survived that one hit because of your friendship, or it dodged that attack because of
Mhm.
your friendships.
Yeah, this was the
Mechanics that
game that
I
set
feel
that precedent.
like we could do without, but unfortunately, it is what it is.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then they had the PSS, the player search system, which basically functioned as the same thing as it did in, I think actually a lot more so than it did in X and Y with the Sea Gear, or
Mhm.
Black and White with the Sea Gear. Where now, if you're connected to the internet, you can see and you can see what people are doing worldwide, and you could
Mhm.
also like say hey, or you like do like like little short passes like, hey, that's nice, or battle, or initiate a battle or a trade at any
Mhm.
given time.
Yeah, this was a little more fleshed out than like Generation 5's whatever touchscreen functionality.
Right, and then
Yeah.
you also have the battle spot where you could
Mhm.
just like say, "Hey, I want to just like battle whoever," and whoever's up for that. Wonder trade, and
Mhm.
then shout outs, and then you could also do like the O powers to people, which we'll get to later.
Mhm.
And
They had the
I feel like
GTS in there too.
GTS, yeah,
Mhm.
and you just friends are different from people. You can change your profile. I
Mhm.
feel like it was very very neat. I feel like we kind of have that in Gen 8, where you can turn on the was it the Y-com,
Mhm.
and you can see what people are doing. But I feel like the PSS like blows what we have now out of the water.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. This had a little bit more interactivity on there, and also I liked seeing like when people were online, like on my touchscreen on there. I was like, oh sweet, like you're playing, or one of my other buddies are playing the game. Like that
Right.
was cool, and that I feel like kind of got lost with just like going to like more of the like standard that like Xbox and PlayStation were doing, where it's like you just go to like a menu and it shows what game that somebody's playing.
Right.
Where instead of
And
over
then
here, it's a
like
little more specialized.
yeah, and like in Sword and Shield, this is this annoying pop up on like the bottom left of your screen, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can see that what people are doing, but it's just annoying to keep constantly seeing. Whereas where before it was relegated on the on the bottom screen, so you
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to look at it if you didn't want it, but it was neat to like look
Yeah.
down and be like, oh hey, this guy's playing. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if he wants to trade or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
But
Moving on from there, the last function of the bottom screen had to do with super training, which, like we said before, was a mini game that they added that could if raise the effort values of Pokemon, which contribute to their overall stats and could help with competitive battling.
mm-hmm.
And so it was a neat mini game where you like flying around and shooting soccer balls into like a giant inflatable Pokemon.
Yeah.
And depending on the Pokemon is which mode you're doing, you also could get the EVs as well as different items.
Mm-hmm.
And that was how you got like your evolution stones that you can see there. It was really neat
Mm-hmm.
to how to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And the wings that they
Right.
introduced in Gen 5 wings.
And it only rewards you as you do more and more because it gave you what items for money as well as healing items. So it's like even if you were like, it was felt monotonous, you were still being rewarded with
Yeah.
stuff.
I didn't realize how like the designs were and like all the features and stuff. I never really delved too much into super training. I did it like once or twice, but
Mhm.
I didn't realize that there was like different designs. Like this is all new to me right here.
Which, just on a
And
side note, I don't understand how this dude lost Nuzlocke when he had access to super training, but that's just me.
I didn't bother. I literally didn't know how to EV train until yesterday.
Dumbass. Dumbass. Yeah, so moving
Fuck
on from super.
off, you fucking
and
rat.
And you can also, when you do really well, you get the extra large training bags, which also just give you like a set amount of effort values by doing. I believe you get 12 for like the level 3 bags.
Yeah. You
So
get
so
12 effort values.
if you do like the max training, you get like the 12 points right off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you get an extra large training bag, you just to have your Pokemon attack the training bag, and then you get another 12. So
Mm-hmm.
EV training was really like like
They really tried
streamlined,
to,
yeah,
yeah.
streamlined and like enhanced, so that
Mm-hmm.
way you could
And instead of just
attain.
like stats for nerds and Bono.
Yeah, you could just get in there without having too much trouble.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, I really I haven't seen anything like it. There was like the EV training island in Sun and Moon,
Mm-hmm.
and then I believe in Sword and Shield there were Pokemon jobs, but
Mm-hmm.
there wasn't just that interaction anymore. It was just like here's the Pokemon, let them go do their thing, and I have nothing to do with this anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So, moving on from there, the you also get put to work, manual labor.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say we can't have a game without France without going through the societal norms of a peasant
yeah.
and a lordship. So at a certain point in the game, you're introduced to the berry fields, where you talk to the gentleman there, and he grants you access to use of the berry fields. And so there are very few berry trees in this game where you can get berries from,
Mm-hmm.
and there's that. And as Alex is scrolling right there, you can actually plant berries next to each other from those random trees that you can get
Mm-hmm.
to get the other different berries in the game. It's like a crossbreeding thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you plant,
Mutations.
yeah, if you plant the stuff like that, you get this berry, or if you get, plant these two next to each other, you get that berry.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that mechanic because, A, it introduces, children to the idea of crossbreeding plants, which, is like was never needed, but was like, oh, okay, at least you're giving them some like primitive knowledge about it,
Mm-hmm.
so that knowledge is never lost.
Yeah.
But also, I just think it was a neat mechanic for berries because like if you wanted those like battle berries, you had to work for them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You had to constantly tend your fields. You had to constantly work the land as a French peasant
Mm-hmm.
to.
I never used the berry fields,
Oh,
ever.
I'd use them all the time.
Never used them because
I love.
I was just a total normie. It's like play the game. That's it.
Like I said, I use them all the time. I loved like the neat mechanic with the crossbreeding, and
Mm-hmm.
then like like finding the berries because you can get them from Pokemon like right there.
Yeah.
And it's just it was just such a neat like addition to berries that I had never had before.
Mm-hmm.
That was just like like holy crap,
Yeah.
this is neat. But yeah, it was a very small feature, but it was funny to me that like you're just like working the land as a French peasant,
Mm-hmm.
and then on the exact same route down the road you can become French nobility
Yes,
as you
exactly.
enter the battle chateau,
Mm-hmm. The chateau.
the chateau,
Yes.
which is like kind of like a mini like battle. I don't know what you'd call it. It's just like a place where you can go. Like it's kind of like it replaces like the Verse Seeker, or like a place where
Mm-hmm.
you can go to like rebattle trainers. It also
Exactly.
has the functionality of rebattling gym leaders, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But what you do upon entering is that you are given a lowly court rank of Baron,
Or
and then as you
baroness.
or Baroness, and then as you beat people and you accumulate a number of wins, you eventually will get a rank up in the
Mm-hmm.
court, and then you become a
Uh,
Viscount
yes, and
or
then
Viscountess
yeah,
or an Earl,
or
the
countess,
the Countess or the Marquis,
key, or the marchioness,
Marquioness, and then you
and then
become the Duke,
duke or duchess, and then
and
the
then
grand
there's
duke and grand duchess. That's the
the
highest
Grand
rank.
Duke.
The
Yes,
grand
and I
duke.
yeah, so you go from tilling your humble berry fields to the Marquis
To become the grand duke
to
or
become the Grand. Well, you
duchess.
could become the Duke. I don't know. Marquis just like flows out. Marquis.
Marquis. I just
I
say
don't know.
marquee like the headline on like a movie theater. The
The
marquee.
Marquis the Marquis de la Pidge.
Yeah, marquis de Lepage. Uh,
Yeah. But yeah, you get rewards. You get a bunch of money first of all, and then you also get like a bunch of items from people. You can also like uh, pay money for invitations. There's also like a mechanic where you can tip the staff, and then if you don't
right.
tip, they just like say nothing to you, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah. Uh,
um,
yeah.
but yeah,
There's.
you can rebattle gym leaders, but they're not like super strong. As you can see, they only have like two Pokemon. You can
Exactly.
also rebattle. You can also
Oh,
battle
Diantha.
Diantha, and
Mm-hmm.
she only has a couple Pokemon. The Elite Four all have three.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to be able to like rebattle them. I think and like see them, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I wish it was better because even like in Heart Gold Soul Silver when you had the rebattling gym trainers or gym leaders, they had like six Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
Yeah.
cool. I think you could
Right.
even do it in Gen 4 or at least with the with like key characters in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you rebattle Barry and like a bunch of other people. I
Yeah.
don't know if could you rebattle gym leaders in Platinum?
Platinum. I don't recall. I mean, I feel like you can, but let
We
me.
can add an addendum to that later, or if you
Okay.
want to keep
Oh.
going while I'll keep going while you do look it up.
Uh.
Um, so yeah, the Battle Chateau was neat. Your court rank never, um,
Yes, you
your court.
can.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, you can rebattle gym leaders, and they have a souped-up team. It's
Well, that's the Elite
five
Four.
Pokemon.
Is there? Are they in
Oh,
there?
never mind. That's Oh wait, no. Why am I at Elite Four? I'm stupid. I'm literally stupid.
Okay. Yeah. So like I said, your court rank never travels anywhere after
No. Yeah, there's no.
outside of the Battle Chateau. There's no.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Because it's on the resort island. It's like at the very north part.
Right.
But yeah, you can never. It never travels outside of the Battle Chateau, and it never like has anything to do with anybody else. Because it would be neat if you battled somebody, like say you battled like a rich person that was outside of it, and it's like you're battling, and they're like, the Duke, you have the rank of Duke or something like that. It's never mentioned. It would have been neat if it was, but it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on from there, we have O powers, which are basically pass powers from Gen 5, which are just like you could give to yourself or give to other people that could like decrease the amount of wild Pokemon they run into, or give you extra money from trainer battles, or heal
Mm-hmm.
your Pokemon, or restore their PP. It's nothing huge,
Can you restore my PP?
but it is a neat feature to have. Yeah, you get more XP points. You could also do increase critical chance. And so you see that Alex has brought up the list right there, but
Yeah.
there's nothing like game breaking that you could get from these things.
Mm-hmm.
I know the lucky power in Black and White and Black and White 2 actually increased your shiny chance odds, but I don't think there's that in this game.
Mm-hmm. This one there isn't. No, there's no shiny odds on this one.
Yeah. But yeah, they're very rudimentary. You do have to you have to find them from Mr. O, and it cuts to this weird fucking scene where like the screen blacks out,
Mm-hmm.
and like this guy like says like some questionable things, especially if you're playing a female character, and then
You're
like the
looking
screen
mighty
comes back
fine
on,
today, baby.
and then he disappears, and it's like Jesus Christ, because you find this guy usually in the hotels scattered throughout Kalos, and the more you think about it, the more creepy it fucking gets.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll skip over Mr. O and the O powers, but they do make a
Yeah.
return in ORAS, but I
Yeah, as soon
believe
as he got out of jail, he
yeah, you get them a different way because I think
mhm.
they realized their mistake with that.
Yeah.
But
But
moving on from O powers,
the
we get
best part
to
of Gen
the
6.
best part of Gen 6, Mega
Three,
Evolutions.
2, 1. Mega
Mega
Evolutions.
Evolutions.
Hell
So
yeah.
yes, Mega Evolutions were introduced in Generation 6. It's probably the best mechanic we've ever seen in the Pokemon franchise to date.
Yes.
It gave Pokemon that were fully evolved a chance to evolve again, only during battle, but it greatly increased stats. And as you can see here, there are a ton of them. They gave them to some really broken Pokemon so that even
Mm-hmm.
broken Pokemon could be more broken. They
Yes.
also lifted some Pokemon out of obscurity, like Kangaskhan, Pinsir, Aerodactyl. Gave us Fabio, gave us Heracross, Mega Houndoom. It just added so much versatility to Pokemon that had none to
Mm-hmm.
begin with,
Yeah.
or B, it just gave a Pokemon with a crappy design an even better design.
Yeah. It like yeah, especially for like the single stage Pokemon like Absol, it made it like useful or Mawile.
Right.
And yeah,
It
it's
breathed it breathed
just
it breathed, it breathed new life into those Pokemon. A key point here to point out is that the only Pokemon to ever receive two different forms are Charizard and Mewtwo,
correct.
probably some of the most recognized Pokemon out there. But
That's probably
yeah,
why.
it's probably why.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about it that just makes it so damn cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I
out of the ones that were introduced in X and Y, what is your favorite Mega Evolution?
Charizard X, dude, don't even
I know.
ask.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, that's a rhetorical question. I'm sorry.
Our childhood dreams came true when they introduced Charizard
As a
X,
dragon,
Fire Dragon,
but they were also crushed when they showed Mega Gyarados as a
Mega
tempura shrimp.
Gyarados, Water Dark.
Yeah,
Should
and
be
it looks
Water
like a
Dragon.
fucking shrimp. It
It should be
looks.
Water Dragon.
It should have been Water Dragon.
It should have just gotten like longer, like Scorch, and had
Yeah,
like the Chinese dragon with the arms and like the
exactly.
legs.
But nope, they.
But
Yeah, nope. They got to make it look like
Mega
tempura.
it shifted the mediocrity of the battles that we've had so far with Gen 5, because it was just like it was Gen 4 was Hazard. It was the season of hazards because you
Mm-hmm.
had spikes, stealth rocks, and whatever. Gen 5 was like the battle season of like weather, because weather was permanent, and so you had constant Pokemon switching out to inflict weather status to win battles. And
Mm-hmm.
then Gen 6 just turned everything on their head by introducing Mega Evolution. So now, and when you Mega Evolve and you switch out, it's not like you lose Mega Evolution. You have that Mega Evolve Pokemon until it faints.
Mm-hmm.
So when you decided to Mega Evolve, and which Pokemon you decided to have was extremely crucial to like your team composition.
Exactly.
And we just haven't seen anything like that since. I mean,
Yeah.
there is Dynamax Pokemon,
Yeah, but that's a
but
temporary thing.
it's a temporary boost, and it can be countered
Yeah. And it doesn't take
pretty.
up your item slot either.
It
Because
doesn't
the
take up
Mega
your item slot.
Evolution, the Mega Stones do take up the item slot.
Yeah, you had to give up that, but you're all the stat bonuses you're granted, because I believe each Pokemon gains is plus 100 stats across the board,
Mm-hmm.
as well as access to their new ability. And it's just like it added so much layering to the battle mechanics that it's just too good, and I just don't understand why they took it away.
Uh,
I, I have
yeah.
no idea. I can't. I just. Oh my god, it's
Yeah, it's really.
so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was easily like the coolest mechanic that they've had pretty much ever, or at
Hmm.
least like in this time frame. Like maybe it's because everything else just seemed so mediocre that this just rose from the ashes. But like
Right.
even just like apart from like the usefulness of them, the designs, like just giving new life to older designs was just so dope in my opinion.
Right. And it's not like just between you and I here that the
Yeah.
that the the hype of Mega Evolutions did. No, when this came out, people started drawing Mega Evolutions for tons of
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon.
Yeah, the creativity and ideas were just endless on those ones. Like
And it
people
wasn't
were,
just
yeah,
designs, it was typing, it was
hmm
stats, it was abilities, it was
yeah,
just like a plethora. People even gave X and Y forms to a bunch of different
yeah,
Pokemon.
yeah. Because we're just preaching to the choir over here. Like I think we're just saying what people have been saying for the past 9 years now since this game came out. Basically, that
Right.
it's like Mega Evolutions were just so cool. They were like it's just so integral to this whole thing. I feel like that like not having Mega Evolutions is a sin.
Right.
Like they need to
It's
bring
it's
it back.
right. So here's hoping, crossing your fingers. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I can't think of anything more to say. But like
Yeah.
to praise Mega, like unless getting on top of a mountain and shouting at the top of my lungs, please bring back Mega Evolutions. There's nothing more I can say. I
hmm
really think that they speak for themselves. No
Yeah.
matter what type of Pokemon fan you are,
Yeah.
whether you're just a fan of designs, you're a fan of battling, you're a fan of typing, it gives
Mhm.
everybody everything they ever wanted.
I
Plus,
will not
pop
rest until we get Mega Scrafty.
or Mega Flygon.
Oh my god. That's seriously like I think out of all of them, that was the most bullshit that they didn't do was Mega Flygon. That was
Mega
literally it
Flygon,
was asking to be a Mega. It was
Mega
just
Dragonite.
yeah.
There's so much.
I
There's
am
so many.
happy that they added some more Mega Evolutions in ORAS, which we will talk in that next episode.
Hmm.
But it just wasn't enough.
It would,
I want
yeah.
more. I'm craving more.
I mean, we had them in Gen 7, but there were no more. There were
Yeah,
no
there
new
weren't
ones, and
new
I was like,
ones. Like they brought them in there, but they didn't bring any new ones.
and then
Which
Gen 8, we just got
nothing,
stabbed. We
nothing.
just got shivved from behind in the back.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly. So
unless you have anything else to say, we'll move on.
yeah, before I get my pants any more creamed in, then we'll let's go to the
Right.
next thing. That's just as
Yeah. The
whatever.
next thing we have was was rideable Pokemon, which was essentially like the beginning of like the well, it was like the layout for what would become
Yeah,
like the ride Pokemon later, because there
exactly.
were only certain Pokemon you could ride,
It's like
and they only were only rideable for to do certain features.
yeah, or like just to traverse like some routes. Like you had Rhyhorn,
Right.
which we talked about earlier, whereas like they fleshed it out a little bit more, where you walk over rocky terrain.
Hmm.
You had Mamoswine over the ice or the snow,
Hmm.
and you had another one, right?
Go-Go.
Go-Go, yeah, you had Go-Go for a little while
Go-Go.
there
Well, it
too.
wasn't used
Yeah,
to like traverse any terrain, but it was like they
yeah,
had a Go-Go ranch, and you could like get
mm-hmm.
on a Go-Go and just
Yeah,
like run around and go
ex-
crazy.
exactly. Yeah, that one like they like Bono said, like they fleshed it out a little bit more later on, where you got to use Pokemon for other like practical purposes other than just going on a route. Like you'd use like a Charizard to fly or a Tauros to
Hmm.
speed through shit, and yeah, I'm happy that they delve more into it, but yeah, this was kind of just like a taster of what they could do.
Right.
Yeah,
It was laying out the groundwork, and I think it
yeah,
was funny that you could take the Go-Go out of the ranch and like go
right.
on the route with it.
Yeah, you could just go around with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that. It was a neat feature. It was obviously it led to what we have now, but yeah, it was
Mm-hmm.
neat.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the big bit. Grab your popcorn, get your drinks, pause the video, do whatever you gotta do, because now we gotta talk about the story of this game, and it's just we'll get right into it. So
Yeah.
as you go into Lumio City, you're introduced to the what is it, the Lysander Corporation,
Yeah. Lysander
and
Corp.
yeah, and he's in charge of like developing like the Holocaster and stuff like that, and it's like neat technology and whatnot. You also get to meet the
Neat.
guy eventually, and you are confronted by Team Flare, I believe, in the area after you use the Rhyhorn, where they're looking for fossils for some reason. I don't think it's explained, but
Mm-hmm.
you find them and you fight them off and they leave, and then you encounter them again in I think it's like after the power or Genesage town. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're talking about like researching stuff, and then you fight them at the Kalos power plant, which is after the fourth gym, the
Mm-hmm.
Pokeball factory. They really seem to have like a just like a wide spread of like
Places that they have.
stuff they're looking for. They're not like concrete in their goal,
Mm-hmm.
because I believe they're like looking into different forms of energy,
Yeah,
and
like
that
renewable
eventually,
or I don't know,
yeah.
just resources to for power.
Yeah, and it's just like, then you get introduced, like you fight them at they're looking at freaking what, Mega Evolution and the Frost Cavern,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just get tossed right into it.
Mm-hmm.
You get tossed into
Lysander
like try
Labs.
Lysander Labs, where you encounter Lysander, then he reveals like his
His true
plan,
intentions. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, and his like plan is to utilize this ancient weapon that was fought in this war, because hey, guess what? Pokemon has a war that was fought between Kalos and some other region,
Mm-hmm.
and the king at that time was so distraught by like the death that was going on that he was going to build this ultimate weapon that would end the war in a single stroke, which he succeeded in. He built the weapon, but what happened was is like the devastation, the amount of death that was wrought by it was so much that he was just like sent into a depression. Not to mention his favorite Pokemon also died
Mm-hmm.
in the war, so that he just became, and he just became disillusioned with the power that it had, and decided to like bury the
The
weapon
device.
and
Yeah.
the device and stuff like that. And it's Lysander wants to essentially
Bring it back.
wipe the slate clean with people, because he feels that like people are like he doesn't say it, but it's like people are over polluting and stuff like that, kind of like a like a crisis, like a global crisis kind of thing, and that only like him and the chosen should like inherit the earth and restart again,
Mm-hmm.
knowing what they know now.
Yeah.
And so that's what his intention is to do, is to reactivate the weapon and do stuff like that. And so you've traveled to Genesage Town, where it's like the graveyard of all those people, Pokemon that died in the war, is there,
Mm-hmm.
and just so happens to be the location of the ultimate weapon, which is powered by your box legendary, aka either Xerneas or Yveltal.
Yes.
And before you get to that battle, you get to battle Lysander, who
Mm-hmm.
has
A Mega Gyarados.
some weird getup, because he has like a
Mm-hmm.
robot, and they have like robot beetles, and then he has like some goggles and a gauntlet for the Mega
Right.
Evolution,
Yeah.
way out of left field. You battle Lysander, who, much like any boss battle in this game, only has like a limited amount of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And so you battle him, and then eventually he realizes that, oh, I
It's
was wrong.
useless.
Yeah, I was wrong. Blah blah blah. And then you battle and catch the legendary, and then his plan is kaput,
Mm-hmm.
because I believe, oh no, he does fire the weapon, but the weapon just fires up and then comes back down on top of the weapon to destroy
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, just did nothing.
And a key person in all of this is the tall person in the cage right there,
Az.
AZ, who is alluded to be the king that made the weapon in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
and because he used it, he was cursed with immortality or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's basically been alive like this whole time, and like, oh, his Pokemon just he brought his Pokemon back to life, but it like left him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it
Exactly.
was just, and he's been looking for it ever since, and it just makes no sense, and the story makes no sense, and I don't understand any of it. Why?
Yeah, this is definitely my least favorite enemy team. Like the
Well, I mean, it had Pitbull in it, so
yeah, Pitbull,
yeah. One of
Mr.
the look at the
Worldwide.
team, look at Team Flare admin. Pull it up.
Oh, right,
Timmy,
right. I
Timmy,
remember
pull it
that
up.
one. Yeah. Okay. Let me pull it
Pull
up.
it up. Pull it up.
Team Flare. Right,
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. So it's so weird and it's so out of place that I don't
Like
understand.
this T pose. I'm gonna keep
This
that.
the Sigma pose.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so weird, and before we go on anymore, we're moving on, because
Yeah.
that's it. That's
This
all
is
there is to the story. We're moving on,
pretty
but I think we
much.
need a break. Do we need a
Yeah.
break, Alex?
Yeah. I think we got a word from our sponsor that we got to bring up. So
Okay, yeah. So
yeah.
let's go ahead and roll that sponsor, and we'll come back in a minute.
Ah.
These are the masks.
Those masks I read about.
What'd you read about?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Shaheener coming at you with another micro vlog.
You there, neckbeard. Are you ready to have the most invigorating dance routine of your life? Do you like Pokemon? What about not being a lazy meat pile? I have the gift for you. Introducing the Bob and Weave Workout Series. This is a 5-disc series curated by yours truly, Robert Weave.
I curated this workout series with inspiration from Hitmontop to bring you the best possible workout regimen that you could do anytime, anywhere.
By following this workout regimen, you can turn your Snorlax belly into Buzzwole abs. Look at these fine young gentlemen over here working their hardest to be the very best. I used to be fat and sad. Now I'm just sad.
This milestone workout can be yours for only $69.99. But wait, there's more. Order today and you'll receive the Bob and Weave bonus disc, which gives you access to even more workout routines, including the Gibble, the Ludicolo, and the Mr. Rhyme.
But I'm not done yet. If you order in the next 5 minutes, I'm gonna give you a brand new Nintendo Switch. Hey, stop giving away my shit! Shit.
Thanks for this. Thanks to our sponsor
Yeah, that was
for
a great
doing that.
sponsor. Make sure you go check that out.
Yeah, I would highly recommend their product. But moving on from, we had a nice break. We're gonna move on to more shittier stuff from X and Y. We're gonna talk about the lackluster Elite Four of this game. So the Elite Four is comprised of 4 members, and their typing in this game in this generation is Steel, Water, Fire, and Dragon. I believe Steel and Dragon are pretty bangers, but Water and Fire are just kind of a flop.
Mm-hmm.
The trainers themselves are pretty cool. Drasna is just like this old grandma with dragons. Wickstrom is the steel dude. Seabold is like some chef, I think. And the one that's the coolest, that has like the coolest tie-in of them all, is Malva, who's like a reporter, who's like this like newscast reporter, but she also had ties to like Team Flare. And when you battle her, she actually meant like he's like revengeful. She's like, ah, damn you for ruining our plans, blah blah blah. And it's like, whoa,
yeah,
where was this?
Yeah.
Where was this plot line?
Dope. I loved the designs of the places that they were at, that they inhabited. Were so cool. Like,
because
especially
Elite Four are like is the league is like in this giant ass castle.
Yeah, and it's just like it almost looks like a cathedral in Malva's area at least.
Right.
But
especially with like the damning burning flames of hell.
Exactly. Yeah, that was probably my favorite area, but I think my favorite of the Elite Four was Wickstrom. I liked the just the armor, just looks like a knight, and I feel like he's gonna stab me with that Aegislash.
Right. I like I said, I like the Steel and Dragon typing for Elite Four. Final battles. Fire and Water don't scream Elite Four to me.
Right. I agree.
I would have preferred.
Seabold was Water.
Yeah, I would have preferred maybe Ghosts and.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my favorite probably is Drasna. She's just like this grandma racing dragons.
Have we ever had an electric Elite Four? I don't think we have.
No, we haven't.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. But it's just they only have 4 Pokemon. Fire and Water are just so like easily compatible types, especially Water and Fire are just like so easily compatible. You can say the same about Dragon, but at least Dragon types have like the stats to back it up.
Exactly.
She doesn't have like that great Dragon types.
Was the biggest disappointment of this generation, in my opinion. It's the biggest letdown.
At least she has it. At least the new Dragon type is being used.
Yeah.
Also, to come back to the fact that they all don't have Mega Evolutions, which is dumb.
So dumb.
But like I said, Water and Fire are just like so easily compatible. She has Drasna,
especially Seabold's ace Pokemon Barbaracle. It's just like a huge weakness against Grass type. Are you serious?
And it's like with Drasna, she has none of like the good. I mean, granted, she has Noivern and Dragalge, right? 2 of the new Dragon type Pokemon introduced in this generation. That's great. Yeah. But we also have access to like Flygon and Salamence and Garchomp, and she doesn't have any of those.
Mega Garchomp would have been perfect for her team.
Right? Yeah. And it's, Wickstrom has Sizor and what? Probopass, Aegislash, one of the best Pokemon to come out of this generation.
A Klefki?
And a Klefki. I don't know. I feel like there's more. They could have been a Steelix or something like that, because there's Mega Steelix in this.
Let me have a little quick aside right now, too, speaking of Klefki.
Okay.
I have never heard as much complaints about a Pokemon as Klefki.
Right.
Because people are like, oh, it's just a keyring. It's just a keyring. It's like, there are plenty of uninspired Pokemon in other generations, too. It's just because this was, like, a thing that, like, humans created, that now you have a problem with it. There are plenty of other, like, man-made Pokemon, too. It's like,
Right.
Klefki, yeah, it's mediocre, but it's not, like, the most offensive thing ever.
Right.
Fucking and rant.
And rant. So yeah, it's just the Elite Four. They're just they're only 4 Pokemon apiece.
Mhm.
2 of the types are just garbage, and they're the battles aren't memorable.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Exactly.
remember battling the Gen 3 Elite Four. Like I
Mhm.
remember that
Yeah.
very clearly. I remember fighting
Absolutely.
each of them with their 5 Pokemon, and then battling Steven and Wallace. Like that was a challenge.
Mhm.
I remember battling Lorelei, Bruno, Agatha, and Lance. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember fighting Will, Karen, and all of them because they were tough battles.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are complete pushovers,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just such a shame to see it, especially in a generation where, like we said, we had mega evolutions.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I do like this idea where you pick your own Elite Four, but like you said, they're pretty much not memorable. I feel like the areas are more memorable than their teams are.
Mhm.
And this whole game, again, going back to the title of the episode, no challenge. There's
Right.
no challenge to any of it. And I feel like
I
that
think it'd be
should've,
pretty cool.
like, yeah.
If there is a champion in a region, and then the 8 gym leaders assemble, and then you have to pick your Elite Four from the 8 gym leaders, and it's a full 6v6 battle
Mhm.
against the gym leaders you fought before.
Yeah.
I think that would be a neat addition. But moving on from that,
Right.
we get into
champion battle.
our champion
Pretty
battle
much the
against
only
against
6-on-6 battle.
the only 6-on-6 battle against a person that has had no bearing on the story and has been
Mhm.
mentioned like a handful
Like
of times.
once or twice, yeah. And it
Yes,
was only because she was like a
Diantha.
TV star.
Yeah, she's a goddamn movie star. She's not
Yeah.
a battler. Like
Yeah.
it makes me feel like
A
the
movie
Kalos
star
region,
a movie star as a leader. Where have I seen that from?
right? And it's just like I feel like like the Kalos region is just a pushover because we're letting your champion be a goddamn
Actress.
movie star actress. Yeah. It's like she's living her best life, obviously, but she has like 2 feet in 2 different pools. And it's like, okay, one of them clearly needs to be chosen over the other.
Maybe actors shouldn't get into leadership.
Let me tell you this.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, she has the 2 fossils. She's got Halucha. She's got Gardevoir. She's got Gudra, which is the pseudo. It's a very crappy pseudo. It's a pure dragon type.
I mean, Gumi is like the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Gumi, all hail Lord Gumi. But Gudra is just,
Yeah, Gudra is, like, again, disappointing.
right.
Yeah.
Obviously,
'Cause
Gudra would get Hisuian form, Dragon Steel. Not sure how that, but there's not really like a big. I don't think you can actually use it in a competitive battle right now.
Not yet.
Yeah. So
Unless
we
they
have yet to.
add Hisuian Pokemon into Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah. So we haven't seen the effects of that yet because I guess now it's immune to ice or it's more or less effective if it's Dragon
Yeah.
Steel. No.
Exactly. Yeah, it's neutral now, I think.
Neutral, yeah. So we haven't seen that, but Gudra got some love later. Mega Gardevoir is beast,
Gardevoir and just anything related to the Ralts line is just perfect.
and it's just it's an example of like what could have been, especially with her having a mega evolution. If we had done that for each of the gym leaders, like there's 30 of them. There's definitely one for each of them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But here we are.
Doing everything.
I would have loved to see Clement with a Mega Ampharos.
Oh my god. Yeah, just having an opportunity to battle Fabio would be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
yeah,
no.
it's just this game goes out on a whimper, really, in terms of the story. You fight Diantha, and then you get celebrated as a hero as AZ gets his fucking Pokemon back. You battle him.
3,000 years.
You battle AZ, and it's like a shitty 3v6 battle.
Yeah, it's.
Can you look it up? He's got like Torkoal and Golurk and Aegislash, I think.
Pokemon Trainer AZ. Yeah, he has Torkoal, Golurk, and Sigilyph.
And you can see in the picture right there, you have Xerneas or your legendary, and it's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. It's so you're so stacked against this poor guy.
Right, like it's almost like why even have the battle here. I still like the background of the battle is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a coronation ceremony, and it's just like you're getting your flowers, and he's like, "You're a bitch," and then
you're a bitch, you dirty rat,
you dirty rat. But it's just he's like, "I'm gonna kick your ass," and it turns out that he has the most pushover team.
Right.
Yeah.
So moving on, you get your
Yeah.
post game. You get access to this like new town, like in the corner of the map. It's nothing to write home about. It has basically what essentially is the battle tower called the Battle Maison. There's not much to say about it. It's led by 4 ladies who each specialize in a different battle. It's single, double, triple rotation, and then multi, I believe, is the one where you pick a partner.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing as the battle tower. 7 wins in a row, or 21 wins, you get something, and then actually you get a ribbon.
Yeah, I will
Cool.
have to accomplish this for my current
It,
challenge.
it's 21 wins and then 50 wins in a row, I think. You do have to battle them a certain amount of times to get the ribbon, and it's just it's a battle tower. We've had it before. We've had it since. There's nothing new about it.
Exactly. So,
But one thing that they did introduce that in that town that's pretty neat is the addition of Friend Safari. So it was
yes.
a new addition of a Safari we haven't seen in a while. However, this is special because using the 3DS's functionality of a friend code, it generates a type as well as 3 different Pokemon for which you can look for. And the Pokemon they put in there are pretty good. And so like each of your friends or each people you register with a friend code have like a different type and can have like different stuff. I mean, you can just look at the Friend Safari Reddit and the fact that this game came out in 2013 and
and it's
the
still
Friend
very
Safari
active.
is still very active. People are constantly looking for the friend codes that have like Charmander or Dratini or Dragonair or any of the starters because you can get like hidden ability mid-form starters and just like I mean look at the goddamn Pokemon. There's one for each type.
It's crazy. Like they really, really fleshed this one out. But also, I'm very curious, also kind of scared for how it's going to go when the eShop stuff closes, like the internet functionality closes for the 3DS. Like they're going to have to do the makeshift servers like they did with DS. Like it's gonna be really frustrating when that happens. Like for people that use it, I've never used it. I used it back when I was at community college because everybody had their 3DSs. This was when X and Y was like the thing. Everybody had 3DSs. You always had street passes. You always had this and that. But like the Friend Safari was so rampant back then. Like everybody had was asking for Friend Safari stuff. I think my typing was dark. Yeah. And so it's like you just had so many people over there. Like people you wouldn't think that you'd talk to be like, "Hey, what's your friend code? What's your this and that?" And yeah, it's just gonna be so sad when that.
Yeah, what's your friend code? Oh, you don't know your type? I can look it up for you. Hang on, go online. Let me see what your third Pokemon is.
Yeah, exactly. That stuff was just oh my god, it was so cool.
It was so cool. I'm really hoping it makes a return, like just with the Switch friend codes and like online functionality now, and the more connectability. It is a shame that you do have to pay for Nintendo Switch Online. I feel like that's going to be a little bit of a hurdle for people.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Friend Safari needs to make a return. I feel like it's just a straight copy and paste.
Honestly,
Add
if
new
they just did
Pokemon.
that, I'd be cool with it.
Add different Pokemon. I feel like it would be great. I feel like it would take off again and bring a whole new life into the Switch.
Right.
Another thing they added
they brought back was the Pokéradar.
They brought back, yeah. Pokéradar works similarly as it did in Gen 4, and just with the Gen 6 Pokemon that you can hunt now, Bunnelby, Fletchinder, all that stuff. You could get the shiny Pokemon that you want and stunt on people on Battle Spot or your friends. So it was a neat thing to have. One unique thing to Gen 6, both ORAS X and Y specifically, is called consecutive fishing.
Yes.
So the more times the way it works that the more you fish a certain Pokemon with your Pokemon with suction cups or whatever, and the more you battle it and beat it, and the higher you get, the more consecutive times you do it, the shiny chance significantly reduces for a Pokemon. And I believe at peak odds it's 1 in 100. Yeah, and it's not asking you to do like a ton. It's like 20 or more, and after the 20, it's 1%. And like I said, it's not broken because you're only limited to fishing Pokemon, and it's like like that. And I don't know. I feel like the fishing mechanic needs a revamp, and I feel like consecutive fishing coming back would be like it would be a thing for it.
Oh yeah, that'd be so fun.
Right, because since Gen 7 you only fish at the bubbling spots, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's really frustrating.
You don't go to a body of water and fish and then have that chance. Also,
No,
I feel like
click on an area and that's it.
I feel like the list of Pokemon that you fish needs to be expanded. I feel like there should be. It'll suck
There's
because
so
you'll
many
have.
water Pokemon that could be.
Yeah, there's
that
so
should
many
be
water
caught.
Pokemon, and I feel like it'll suck because it'll be like, okay, you got 20% of this, 20% of that, 20% of that.
Yeah,
But I feel like it needs to
I
happen
think the
because
diversity needs to happen.
there's tons of fish in the sea.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like limiting
There's-
it to like, oh, this pool only has Magikarp.
Oh yeah, there's 3 Pokemon. You can find
Yeah.
a Poliwhirl, Starmie, or a
there's like a
Magikarp.
trillion different water types, and like they really need to like have some kind of availability like that too. This generation also has the introduction of, well, they've had extra storage titles before.
Yeah,
like they had the Pokemon Box Ruby and
Pokemon Box.
Sapphire on the GameCube,
Yeah.
which you could like store like a couple thousand Pokemon in there. But now they have it based off of a cloud service. This was Pokemon Bank, and so it was $5 for a year. Or I mean, there was a free trial version, but it's like $5 a year, and you get access to like a huge cloud storage where you could switch your Pokemon whenever you want, basically.
Between all 6 Gen 6 games, Gen 6
yeah.
and Gen 7
Yeah,
event later.
Yeah, Gen 6 and Gen 7 both utilized it. And it also included an app called the Poke Transporter, which allowed you to trade Pokemon from Gen 4 and Gen 5 over to 6 and 7. So, yeah, you take your DS games to the 3DS games, which was really nice. And I used it a lot. I was a subscriber day one on Pokemon Bank.
I still am.
Yeah, still am. Yeah, always
Right.
always will be. As long as they have it, I will be a
It's
subscriber.
such a deal for $5 for a year.
Yeah, instead of $5 a month, it's $5
Right.
a year. That's crazy good. Yeah, it's like pretty much like a no-brainer to have that.
There wasn't too much to it. It's just it's just a cloud service
Yeah.
to store your Pokemon and move them up the chain to your current game.
Exactly.
It's currently being threatened by the shutting down of the eShop, but
I think they said that they're going to keep it down even though the eShop shut down.
yeah.
Well, I
Or
hope
they're
that
gonna keep
I
it
hope
up,
they
but they're
I,
even
yeah.
the eShop is shut down.
I hope they keep their word on that one. I really
I just don't know. Oh, it's gonna be free. That's right. I was like, I just
Yeah.
don't know how they're gonna get
Right.
money from it.
Yeah. So I hope they keep that going for as long as possible because, or at least I hope that somebody's archiving it so we could use it in the future when they do shut it down.
Right.
So, yeah, because right now Pokemon Home is the new thing where at least transferring Pokemon from the 3DS over to the Switch and all the other functionality with like mobile and whatnot on Pokemon Home. But Pokemon Bank really set that, or like this is where they started to take it seriously, I think. And also,
Right.
it's crazy how expensive Pokemon Box Ruby and Sapphire is, like a legit copy. So I remember seeing that it was like $20 at the store, and then and nobody really bothered. And then now, since like GameCube stuff is rare, the thing is skyrocketed in price just
Right.
for a cloud service, or not a cloud service,
Yeah.
like a storage. Yeah, but that's pretty much like we're at the end of like all we could talk about for Gen 6. So
Yeah, there
unless
are a
anything
couple
else that
things.
you want to bring up.
Nothing that like requires like its own section. I think we've pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. So,
But-
what
oh,
are your
but-
thoughts overall? Like, if you had to score it?
It's like I think the additions that we got in X and Y give it a couple points, but I think it really suffers from the like we said, there is no challenge in this game. The XP share is on by default. Sure, you can shut it off, but like I said, you can go a while before you even realize that you have stuff like that. The fact that the main evolution gimmick in this game is not touched upon by any of the main characters except for the champion and one key battle after the third gym is a shame, because it just makes your player even more powerful. The fact that all trainers in the game have like a certain limit, the boss characters, like I said, without the mega evolutions, have a limited amount of Pokemon, also make it such a shame because it's just so much easy. I feel like the type choices with the Elite Four were picked because they had never been done before, but the Pokemon that they picked to have them be there were bad. If I had to put a score on this game, I'd probably say a 6.
I
that's
was literally thinking the same thing.
And that's only because of Mega Evolutions and the other small
Yeah.
features in this game.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm going to give it the rating of the generation number it is. It's a 6 out of 10 for Generation 6. And there's some things that they had going for it. They set some ideas in motion. Unfortunately, a lot of those kind of got the kibosh in later generations, like getting rid of Mega Evolutions and all that. But the things that they added, they could have fleshed out even more.
Right.
But everything was so bare bones with this. I think it's because it was the first generation that was in 3D and it was the first one on the 3DS, so they're just like testing the waters almost. but there's a lot of things they really could have just like fully realized and reached their potential. But they were also still in the idea of like a Pokemon game has to come out every single year, so I'm sure they didn't have much time for the development cycle of this game. I'm guessing, but yeah, they could have done better, but at least it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't unplayable.
Yeah.
It's definitely something you want to, when you're playing, you just want to like speed through just to get to your favorite app post game function, whether that be shiny hunting or fishing or Friend Safari.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Exactly, or just acquiring all the Mega Evolutions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't offensive. It just played it safe. It played it too safe.
Mm-hmm.
And they really should have added more challenge to it. They should have added something more for the hardcore, but nope, nothing. But that's pretty much it, unless there's anything else you want to add before we close it out.
There's not anything else I have to say. I feel like we've talked about everything. To bring back my evolutions, bring back the Battle Frontier with Inverse and Sky Battles.
Yeah. Bring back all the things that are competitive from this generation.
Bring back just don't be afraid to go back and bring stuff back.
Yeah.
Come on.
Don't be afraid to crank up the difficulty.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Yeah. So, anyways, thanks everybody for watching this latest episode of Babblers Podcast. If you like what you saw,
sorry for the delay.
Yeah, sorry for the delay, but just life kind of got in the way a little bit. But we'll be back to normal scheduling coming up. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you like what you saw. So
next
that way
episode,
you get updates. ORAS. So yeah, check us out on Twitch as well. Links are all down below. But yeah, we'll catch you next time. Have a good one.
Peace.